Namaste. So tonight I'm going to read Book 9, Chapter 12 on the origin of Ganga, the Maha Devi Bhagavatam. Om Vakratuna Mahakaya Koti Suryasa. Om Gurura Brahma Gurura Vishnu. Hariyam Tatsat. Narayana said, O Narada, now about the meditation, dhyan, of the Devi Ganga as per Kanva Sakya. Which destroys all the sins, O Gange of white color, like white lotuses, thou destroyest of all the sins of men. Thou hast appeared from the body of Sri Krishna, thou art powerful like him. Thou art very chaste and pure. Thou hast worn the raiment uninflammable and decorated all over with ornaments made of jewels. Thou art more brilliant than 100 autumnal moons. Thou art also well pleased with a smile on thy lips, and thou art always of steady youthful beauty that never wanes. Thou art dear to Narayana, calm and of peaceful temper, and proud of being his with his fortune. Thou bearest the braid of hair decked with garlands of malati flowers. Thy cheeks are anointed with sandal dots, with sindura bindu, dots of red powder, vermilion, and well adorned with various artistic lines made of musk. Thy garment and thy beautiful lips are more red than the ripe bimba fruit, the red fruit of a cucurbit cucurbitaceous plant. Thy teeth vie, as it were, with rows of pearls. How lovely are thy eyes! How delightsome is thy sidelong glance! How close are thy breasts like bale fruits! Thy loins are thicker and more solid than the plantain trees. How do thy feet look beautiful, defying the beauty of the Stala Padma, ground lotus. How do the red sandals look lovely with kumkuma and alaktak, red powder. What a red tinge thy feet have shown with the honey of parijata, flower that is seen on the head of Indra. The Devas, the Siddhas, the Munis offer always argyas, all offerings of rice with durba grass. At thy feet, the ascetics bow down at thy feet, and it seems as though so many lines of bees are on thy lotus feet. O Mother, thy lotus feet give liberation to those that want mukti and enjoyment, to those that want bhakti, enjoyments. O Mother, thou art the boon, thou art the chief excellent, thou grantest boons, and thou showest thy favor to thy devotees. Thou bestowest the Vishnupadam, the place of Vishnu, but thou hast come from the feet of Vishnu. Thus meditating on the Devi Ganga, flowing by three routes in heaven, earth, and infernal regions, the bestower of good things, one should offer to the Devi 16 things: asana, padya, argya, water for bathing, ointment, anulipana, dupa, sense, deepa, lights, naivedya, offerings of food, betel, cool water, clothings, ornaments, garlands, sandal paste, archmania, water for sipping, and beautiful beddings of worship, and worship her with these. Then with folded hands, one should perform stotra to her and bow down to her with devotion. Thus the worshipper gets the fruits of Asvamedha sacrifice. Narada said, O Lord of the Devas, at present I am desirous to hear the sin-destroying and virtue-bestowing stotra, hymn of Ganga Devi, the purifier of all, those that are fallen from virtue, originated from the feet of Vishnu, the Lord of world and the husband of Lakshmi. Kindly narrate all these in detail. Narayana said, O Narada, now I am narrating the stotra of Ganga Devi that destroys all sins and bestows all religious merit. Here, I bow down to the Ganges who appeared from the body of Shri Krishna, enchanted by the music of Shiva, and who was bathed with the perspiration water coming out of the body of Sri Radha. I bow down to Ganga Devi, who first appeared in the circular dance Rasa Mandalam in the region of Goloka, and who always remains with Sankara. My obeisance to the Devi Ganga, who remains in the auspicious grand Utsab of Radha Rasa Mandalam, crowded with Gopas and Gopis. In the full moon night of the mouth of Kartik, she is 1 koti yojanas wide and 1,00,000 times 1 koti yojanas long in the region of Goloka. My obeisance to her. In Vaikunta, Ganga is 60 lakh yojanas in width and 4 times that in length. My obeisance to her. In Brahmaloka, Ganga is 30 lakh yojanas wide and 5 times as long. I bow down to her. In Shivaloka, she is 30 lakh yojanas wide and 4 times that in length. I bow down to her. In Dhruvaloka, she is 1 lakh yojanas wide and 7 times as long. I bow down to her. In Chandraloka, she is 1 lakh yojanas wide and 5 times as long. My obeisance to Shri Ganga Devi. I bow down to the Ganges, who is 60,000 yojanas wide in the Suryaloka and 10 times that in length. I bow down to Ganga in Tapaloka, who is 1 lakh yojanas wide and 5 times that in length. My obeisance to Ganga Devi in Janarloka, who is 1,000 yojanas wide and 10 times that as long. I bow down to Ganga in Maharloka, who is 10 lakh yojanas wide and 5 times that in length. My obeisance to Ganga Devi in Kailasa, who is 1,000 yojanas wide and 100 times as long. I bow down to Ganga Devi, who is known as Mandakini in Indraloka, and who is 100 yojanas wide and 10 times that and 10 times than that in length. My obeisance to Ganga Devi, known as Bhogavati in Patala, who is 10 yojanas wide and 5 times as long. I bow down to Ganga Devi, known as Alakananda in this earth, who is 2 miles wide, in some places more wide, and in some places less wide. I bow down to Ganga Devi, who was of the color of milk in Satya Yoga, of the color of moon in Treta Yoga, of the color of white sandal paste in Dwapara Yoga. I bow down to Sri Ganga Devi, who is as water in Kali Yoga in this earth, and as milk in Kali Yoga in heaven. O child by the touch of one molecule of the water of the Ganges, all the horrible sins incurred in 10 million births, the murder of a Brahmin, and so forth, are burnt to ashes. Thus I have described in 21 verses the great stotra, human, of the sin-destroying and the virtue-increasing merits of Ganga. He reaps the fruit of the Ashvamedha sacrifice, horse sacrifice, who daily sings this praise of Ganga after worshipping her with devotion. There is no doubt in this. The persons that are without any sons get sons hereby, and those who have no wives get wives. The diseased get themselves free from their diseases, and the man who is under bondage is liberated from that bondage. He who, getting up early in the morning, reads the stotra of Ganga becomes widely known, even if he be not known at all, and he becomes illuminated with wisdom, even if he be quite ignorant. Even if he sees a bad dream, he acquires the merit of bathing in the Ganges and of seeing good dreams. Sri Narayana spoke, O Narada, with this stotra hymn, did Bhagirath praise the Ganga Devi, who then went with him to the spot where the Sagara's sons were burnt to ashes by the curse of Kapila. By the contact of the wind in touch with the particles of water of the Ganges, those sons of Sagara were instantly freed of their curses, and they all repaired to Vaikuntha. She is named Bhagiratha because Bhagiratha brought her to this earth. Thus I have described to you the story of the Ganges. The antidote is highly meritorious and the great step to liberation. What more do you now want to hear? Say, Narada said, O Lord, how did Ganga come to flow through the three worlds by three routes and thus purify them? How was she carried and to which places? How did the people of those localities accord respect to her? Kindly describe all these in detail. Narayana said, O Narada, on the full moon night of the month of Kartik in the Rasa Mandalam, at the great festivity in honor of Radha, Shri Krishna worshipped Radha and remained there. Next, Radha, worshipped by Shri Krishna, was worshipped by Brahma and the other devas, by Saunaka and the other rishis, who also stopped there with much gladness. At this moment, the Devi Saraswati, the presiding deity of the science of music, began to sing lovely songs regarding Krishna in tune with vocal and instrumental music. Brahma became glad and presented to Saraswati a necklace of jewels. Mahadeva gave her gems and jewels rare in this universe. Krishna presented the best Kaustubha jewel. Radhika offered excellent invaluable necklace of jewels. Narayana presented to her the best and most excellent garland of jewels. Lakshmi gave her invaluable golden earrings decked with gems. Vishnu Maya, Mula Prakriti, Bhagavati Durga, who is Narayani, Isvari, Isani, presented her devotion to Brahma. So very rare, Dharma gave her devotion to Dharma, and high fame Agni, fire, gave her excellent raiments purified by fire, and Vayu gave her Nupura, toe ornaments made of gems and jewels. At this time, Maheshvara, the Lord of Bhutas, elements began to sing. At the suggestion of Brahma, songs relating to Shri Krishna's grand Rasa festival. Hearing this, the Devas became very much enchanted and remained motionless like statues. With great difficulty, they regained their consciousness. Then they saw that there was no Radha, no Krishna in this Rasa Mandala. Everything was deluged with water. the gopis, devas, and brahmanas began to cry loudly. Brahma, in his meditation, then came to know that the Radha and Krishna both have assumed this liquid appearance for the deliverance of the people of the world. Brahma and others all began to praise Shri Krishna and said, O all-pervading one, now be pleased to show us thy form and grant us our desired boons. At that instant, a sweet, incorporeal voice was clearly heard by all, as coming from air above, that I am the self of all, pervading all, and this my Shakti Radha is also the self of all, pervades all, so there is no separation of us from you all, even for a moment. It is only to show our favor to the devotees that we assume special forms. For this reason only, there is separation of us from you as regards this body. There is nothing else. Besides, you have no necessity with our bodies, O Devas. Now if my Munis, Vaishnavas, and you all, purified by mantras, desire very much to see my form clearly, then I tell you to request Maheshvara to carry out my word. O Brahma, O Creator, better ask Mahadeva, the world teacher, that he would better compose the beautiful Tantra Sastra in accordance with the limbs of the Vedas, and that the above Sastra be full of mantras capable to yield desired fruits, stotras, hymns, and kavachas, protection mantras, and rules of due worship in proper order. And that also my mantra, my stotra, and my kavacha be also given there in a hidden form, so that those people that are sinners might not understand their real meanings and thus turn out against me. It may be that 1 in 1,000 or in 100 may worship my mantra, and my mantra worshippers, the saints, become purified and come to my abode. If my sastra be not well made, i.e., if everyone be able to understand its meaning, and if everyone be able to go from Burloka to Goloka, then thy labor in this creation of the world will be all be in vain. Therefore dost thou better create different worlds according to the differences of sattvic, rajasic, and tamogunas. Then some will be the inhabitants of this Burloka, some will be the inhabitants of Dhyuloka, according to their karmas. O Brahman, if Mahadeva promises earnestly in this assembly of the Devas, I will then exhibit my true form. O Narada, thus speaking, the eternal Purusa Shri Krishna remained silent, i.e., the aerial incorporeal voice stopped. Hearing this, Brahma, the creator of the world, gladly informed Shiva of this. When the Lord of knowledge, the foremost of the Jnanins, Bhutanata, heard the words of the Creator, he took the Ganges water in his hands and swore that I will complete the Tantra Sastra full of Radha mantras and not opposed to the Vedas. If one touches the Ganges water and speaks lies, one remains in the terrible Kala Sutra hell for a period of 1 Brahma's lifetime. O Dvija, when Bhagavan Shankara said this before the assembly of the Devas in the region of Goloka, Shri Krishna appeared there with Radha. The Devas became exceedingly glad to see him. They praised him, the best Purusa, and they were all filled with rapture and again engaged themselves in the grand Rasa festival. Some time after, Mahadeva lighted the torch of Mukti, i.e., the Tantra Sastra, was published by him as promised. O child, thus I have disclosed to you this antidote, so very secret and hard to be attained. Thus, Sri Krishna himself is verily the liquid Ganga sprung in the region of Goloka, the holy Ganga born of the bodies of Krishna and Radha, inseparable from each other, grants enjoyment, lordship, and liberation. Sri Krishna, the highest self, has placed her in various places. So Ganga is of the nature of Sri Krishna and is everywhere equally honored everywhere in the Brahmanda universe. Here ends the 12th chapter in the 9th book on the origin of Ganga in the Maha Puranam Srimad Devi Bhagavatam of 18,000 verses by Maharishi Vedvyasa. Om Jayanti Mangala Kali Bhadra Kali Kapalini Durga Kashmash. Om Jayanti Devi. Om Mangle Mahakale Shivi Sarvata Satakishanya Dambike Gauri. Om Tuya Mata Chapita Tumaya Tuya Bandusha Chasaka Tumaya Tuya Pitya Draviram.